So when this whole virus hit the scene, my spirit told me that this was a trick from the enemy. Not only a trick, but it was actually an attack from the enemy. The trick was the propaganda surrounding the attack. And many of you all will see years from now what these events will become. And again, when I'm talking to you all about most things, I'm not talking about tomorrow. I'm not talking about in a couple of months. I'm talking about 50 years from now. I'm talking about 100 years from now. I'm talking about the future. I'm not talking about the present. And I'm not a prophet. I'm not clairvoyant. I'm simply saying I can see now where these things will go. Because what most of us don't realize is that things are not going to stay the same. They are going to get better or they are going to get worse. But the trick is, or the deception is, getting us to believe that worse is better. And that's the biggest trick that's been played on us. So what happens is the media gives us these images and these scenarios and these narratives and these propaganda, and we actually start trusting the media so much to the point where the media is God. We look at the media as God, and we don't think we do, but we actually go to the media for confirmation and validation. Just think about it. If somebody tells you something, you have to get it verified where? Where will you get what I'm saying verified from? Most people aren't going to read or research it. So where would they get the information from? They would get the information from the media. And so most people are going to go to the media to get their information, which means the media is actually God. How many people do you think listen to me and then go pray about what they heard me say? How many people do you think actually go pray about anything they've heard or read? You see, we're fighting right now, and we're fighting a spiritual battle. And we're trying to fight this battle in the physical, and we are losing. In order to really see what's going on out there, you will have to detach yourself from your normal existence. You have to remove yourself from what you've been accustomed to your entire life. And the fastest way to do that is for you to remove the emotion. This is why we talk about not letting your emotions rule over you, because your emotions only seek to do one thing, and that is usually to satisfy your insecurities. That's all your emotions want to do. Your emotions don't want to help you grow. Your emotions don't want to help you get better. Your emotions want to satisfy your place of trauma, your insecurities. That's disheartening for me, because that means that people are seeing something and they are refusing to believe what they are seeing. And I understand, because seeing is not believing. We've been so conditioned to the point where the media has to tell us when something is valid or invalid. And that's really where we fail. You know, back in the day, they would say, cut the TV off, or don't watch too much TV, it'll ruin your brain, or don't sit too close, or it'll ruin your eyes. And you see, back then, they had more wisdom back then, because back then, folks were more in tune to what was going on. But now, not at all. Nobody is filtering what they are receiving from the media or the powers that be through prayer, through their spirit. Nobody is consulting anything besides their own limited thinking. So I never looked at this virus as a pandemic or even a virus. I looked at all of this as an attack by the enemy. And the attack is a war that is for our souls, because that's what they want ultimately. They want our souls. I always viewed this as an attack by the enemy. This is why I've been telling people to pray and to fast and listen to their spirit and get more in touch with God. Should be grounding, eating better, because all these things will matter now more than ever. And a lot of us just want to be comfortable. A lot of us don't care about being free. A lot of us don't care about liberation. A lot of us just want to be comfortable. Very few people will actually question what they are being told. And most people that will question are the people that aren't emotionally attached to what's going on. And the other people are usually operating from a place of trauma, so everything that triggers that trauma is something that they will latch on to, not realizing that this whole thing is a battle or is a fight or a war for the souls of all of us. So just indulge me for a second. Why would they cause a pandemic? Just indulge me for 1 second. Why would they do it? Just argue my side of the coin. Why do you think they would do it? what would be the purpose? Why would they want the economy shut down? Why would they want everybody walking in single file lines, 6 feet apart with masks on? Why would they want us to limit human contact? Why? Why would they want us to literally abandon our human existence? Why? What would be the purpose? The only purpose is for full control. They want full control, but they want full control of our souls. That is what they want. They want to control us completely. That means every measure they're putting in place now will never go away. They're not going to get rid of this stuff. They won't. They will not get rid of what they are doing now, because the goal is for us to be a one world government. And guess who has that model? China has that model. China has the model of a one world government where the government controls everything: where you live, what you do for a living, what you eat, how you have a family. Everything is controlled. And that's what they want. We can't see it now because we are being distracted. This is the year 2020 where everything is going to be revealed, and it has been revealed. They cannot hide the truth. All they can do is distract us from the truth. So 2020 is a year of clarity. 2020 is a year of perfect eyesight. Even hindsight is 2020. That means 2020 is also understanding. So if you take the time out to detach from what's going on, you will be able to actually see what's going on because it's clear as day. And again, I'm not talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about 50 years from now. I'm talking about 75 years from now. I'm talking about 100 years from now. Now, many of you all will say that that will never happen. They would never do that. But they gave us the biggest pump fake with 9/11, and we went for it. So at this point, there's nothing off limits. We went for 9/11, and that was almost 20 years ago. And so now they're starting back with something else. But this right here will stick because we've already been prepared for what's to come. If you look around, you will see it. They want us wearing masks, so you won't know who is who. You can't communicate. They want you social distancing. They don't want you touching. They don't want you to have human contact. They want you walking single file lines. They want you getting used to being in order, single file, walking, following orders and rules. What does that sound like? That sounds like a soulless creature. That sounds like a robot, because they know without human contact, it will break down the fabric of society. But not just society, the actual human being, the actual person. And keep in mind, these things are being done by mankind, not human beings, but mankind. They're talking about defunding the police. Just look at the issues surrounding this pandemic. Look at everything that has happened since this pandemic hit the scene. Just think about it. We had self-quarantining. We had wearing masks. We had social distancing. We had a lack of human contact. We had a lack of work. We've had economic collapse. We've had racial civil unrest, riots, protests, looting. And now after everything, you're saying that you want to defund the police. So what are you really saying? Because if the police aren't here, then who will enforce the laws? Who will enforce the rules? Better yet, who will protect people from those that don't want to follow the laws and those that want to break the rules? So how can you control the people without a police force? I will tell you, you have to put something in them that will allow you to control them. Yes, you have to put something in them that will allow you to control them. None of this is about a pandemic. All of this is about your soul. Everything they are doing is a distraction because at the end, they want to give you this vaccine. They don't have a plan B. They want to give you this vaccine. So they're telling you that this vaccine is going to make everything go back to normal. And guess what? Nothing will ever be the same. It will never be normal again, ever. You see, the media has been telling us who to like and who not to like. The media has been telling us what's true and what's not true. The media has been in control this entire time. And all this time that we thought it was ourselves. And all this time we thought we were in control. Just to find out it's been the media the entire time. You see, the media has already brainwashed us enough for us to believe that we have to go to them for confirmation and validation. So if it's on TV, if it's a credible news source, then it's true. That's what we've been conditioned to think, not knowing that all these news sources are owned by the same company. They're all in cahoots. But we don't believe that the media would actually lie to us. We actually believe the media will tell us the truth and never do us harm. Again, the media has actually become God. The media has replaced God in many of our lives. This pandemic has made people abandon their religion. Think about how powerful religion has been, and think about how many people have abandoned religion for a pandemic, for something that was created. Think about how powerful that is. People have abandoned regular health. People have abandoned regular health. You don't even hear anything about regular health, immune system, all the basic essentials to have a healthy life. You don't even hear about it. They want to shut down everything. They want a complete economic collapse so they can come in and give you the solution. They're going to create the problem and then give us the solution. They are going to tell you when all this chaos has ensued, when the economy has collapsed and it's a purge every night and there's destruction and death and damnation in the streets, what they're going to do is they're going to come with a solution. They're going to tell you that in order to prevent this from happening again, we must operate this way. Let us tell you what to do for a living. Let us tell you where you should live. Let us tell you how you should raise your family. Let us be in total control. And many of you all can't even see it. Many of you all don't want to see it. It's just easier for you all to just argue with someone like me versus actually detaching from this world for a second, getting in touch with your spirit, and actually seeing the truth. They want a one world government. They want to be able to track and control everyone on the planet. Do you understand what that is? Do you understand what that means? That means they want to have control over humanity. Who would want control over humanity? Does that sound like God? Or does that sound like someone else? Like I said before, this war we're fighting, this battle, this fight, this is about spirituality. This is a spiritual battle. This is spiritual warfare. But we are trying to fight it physically. And so what they've done is they've just given us distractions. They distracted us from the truth. And so now we're so distracted we can't see the things that are in plain sight. And again, I'm not talking about tomorrow or even next year. I'm talking about 50 years from now. I'm talking about 100 years from now. I'm talking about black people being the model. What they will plan to do is they will plan to put us in to chattel slavery. And what will happen is once black people are back into chattel slavery, no one will come to our rescue. No one will fight for us. And then guess what? They'll move to the next phase. And the next phase will be the next group on the totem pole to be in bondage. Then the next group. Then lastly, everybody. You see, what's done to the least of us will eventually be done to all. And so the goal is complete and total control. But they've been doing this for years. They've shown you all for years what they plan to do just based on how they treated black people in America. If you all pay attention, just go back in history and just look. Look at how we were treated and understand that is the model. Understand how they want the world to operate is how China operates. They want to be able to control everything you do. They don't want you to have free thought. They don't want you to own your soul. They want you walking in single file lines with a mask on, following arrows. They want you to not talk to people. They want you to not touch people. They want you to avoid being human at all costs. And what that will do is that will literally kill a spirit of a person. That will kill a person's spirit. You not being human is tied to your existence. So if you're not human, that means you're going to what? Not be here. Whether it's literally, metaphorically, physically, spiritually, you won't be here. So my advice to all of us is to keep praying and get in touch with our spirit and start eating better and start fasting and start getting prepared for the days to come. Because some people will survive. Some people will thrive. Some people will make it. You are going to need to tap into the spiritual. You're going to need to tap into the spiritual. You're going to have to start communing with God to get some understanding, because what's out there is a lot worse than you think it is. It's a lot stronger than you think it is. Trust me. You will have to be spiritually prepared for this fight, for this battle, for this war. So my advice is that you pray over what you're being told. You pray over what you read. You pray to God for wisdom. You pray to God for understanding. You pray to God to prepare you for these days, because they are coming. You know, it's called the mark of the beast because the beast is not human. The beast is mankind and womankind. The beast is not human. So the beast doesn't want you or I or us to be human. The beast does not want that. So the mark of the beast will not just be a mark, but it will be something to try to take away your humanity. It will be something to try to destroy your spirit. It's not about a pandemic. It's about your soul. It's not about a mask. It's about compliance. It's about you not being who God created you to be. It's about them wanting to alter and turn you into something that is similar to them, and that is not fully human. That is something that was not created by God. I don't want to sound all grim. There will be hope for those of us that do more than believe, for those of us that know. You will have to be strong in these last days. You will have to be strong, because money won't matter. Your shelter won't matter. Your comfort won't matter. Your emotions won't matter. None of those things will matter. None of what we've clinged to this entire time on this planet will matter. You will need spiritual awakening. You will have to commune with God. You will only be able to survive out there with the power of God. So my suggestion is that you all start right now. I'm here for you. I'm here with you. And I'm praying. And I love you. Wait for it. Free Blanche. Get money. Go.